She's an accidental author, a correspondent for GBTV, an avid Tony Stewart fan, and a lover of bacon, but mostly she's a friend. Please welcome S.C. Cupp.
I like it. Thanks for having me. It's always great when I get to leave Manhattan, where I live, and come back to real America. I don't know if you know who my boss is. Do you know Glenn Beck?
Yeah.
You will be thrilled. He's great, one of the greatest bosses in the world, but have you heard that the world is ending?
Yes.
He's got me, stockpiling ammo and burying gold in the backyard, and food insurance, and worrying about the caliphate and end times. So it's also nice to come out and not obsess over end times just for a weekend. It's great. I bring up Glenn because what he's doing right now with GBTV, and this is not meant to be an advertisement, really just a point of illustration, is he's making the news consumption experience more intimate to reflect the changing ways in which we are consuming news. And he has, a lot of ideas about where this is all going to go and how traditional brick and mortar TV networks are not able to give you the kind of customized experience that we expect and want now out of news. And that customizable experience is what social media has been able to do so well. People always ask me, how do you get your news? You must, because you're in this business, you must have to read a lot and follow stories, and I do. I'm almost a little embarrassed to say it sometimes, but Twitter has become my news aggregator because I can decide who I want to hear from and weed out all the people I don't. And I have a rolling sort of ticker tape of the news stories that I need to get every day, every morning. And being able to customize the news experience has not only democratized the way we consume news, but it has made the experience more intimate. And some people think that that's a contrast to, or that social media and this explosion of new technology is sort of a contrast to what we had back in the good old days, in the golden days. And actually, I think it's a call back to that. We've lost a lot of small town newspapers. And that experience of waking up and reading about what's happening in your community with your friends at your church, your school, is something that got lost as we became more global and the earth got flat. But I think we're calling back to that now because we miss that experience. And social media is like waking up to your hometown paper every morning. You get to connect with your friends, even if they're 3 countries away. You get to read what you want to hear and hear funny quips from Jonah Goldberg or Michelle Malkin on Twitter and feel like you're having that conversation with friends who are in disparate places. And the people who really understand the power of this technology, of course, infuriatingly, are young people. And I go to a lot of colleges and speak to young conservative groups, and they really understand not just how to make the technology work, but how to use it as a tool for nothing less than revolution. And particularly on the conservative side, it's been really heartwarming to see how rebellious young conservatism is, especially on college campuses, where young liberalism is just, they're sheep. There is nothing rebellious about sitting in a coffee house smoking clove cigarettes celebrating the Communist Manifesto or its sequel, The Feminine Mystique. That has been done for decades and decades and decades. Your parents did it, their parents did it. The real rebels are young conservatives who are having a march for fiscal responsibility. That is rebellious in college today. And so these young conservatives are making their online videos. They're exposing the hypocrisy on liberal campuses, and they're disseminating that out into the world. That's going to be really powerful. And it's up to not just young people, but every generation to really use this technology to make the world and our communities a more intimate place. It feels like everything is moving outside of our reach. It's going so fast, everything is expanding. The world can be intimate again, and I think that social technology and social media is going to be the key to that. It's going to be the key to our political messages. It's going to be the key to our community messages, our values. So hopefully we can all learn how to make the most of this technology. It feels like it's still in its infancy and it's still fairly nascent. And Lars is right, we don't know where this is going to go. We don't know what this is going to become. But we have a hand in that. We can decide what we're going to do with it and how we're going to use it. And I know that everyone in this room is going to use that to promote free market ideas. Thank you very much for having me. I think we're going to look forward to your questions.